Hi everyone, welcome. Today we're just going to talk about how you can turn your passion into profit. Welcome back to the 3E show. I know it's been a while since we touched base. I was having some challenges with my production crew. I'm happy to be live. So hopefully I'll be doing a lot of live, and as the videos start flowing in, you're gonna have those pre-recorded videos rolling in anytime soon. Anyway, in this economy, it's always hard for people to pivot. And you hear people talking about the fact that you have to follow your passion, identify what you love to do, and all that. Today, I'm just going to break down passion, purpose, interest into bit sites so you can understand better and see where you can actually tease something from the intersection to provide value to the clients or the people that you serve. So, what is passion? If you're here with me, I want you to just drop down the comment below and let me know what you think about passion. So, passion is something that you love to really do. It's something that you get out of bed and just jump into it. You waste time doing it, waste time in the sense that you never feel bored doing that thing. And it takes a while, regardless of how long it takes, you're still in it. So your passion, as I have identified here, it's something that you love to do best. It's something that would, regardless of how busy, how tired you are, you will still want to keep going. I love doing research myself. I can get stuck behind a computer screen and not knowing that it is even daybreak from nighttime all over. I love chatting with people. I love mentoring. I can get myself so boxed down in the sense that before I realize I have spent too much time doing that. So that is your passion, something that you really love to do. Now, your purpose is your why you do what you do. Who do you want to serve? And why are you into that kind of business or into that kind of interest or whatever you term it to be? You need to identify your purpose and provide, at the end of the day, I always say that it's your purpose that will provide direction. When the going gets tough, it is only your purpose that keeps you going. You need to identify why you want to do what you want to do. So somebody would say that economy is a little hard, you want to start a side hustle and all that. When you start and you face challenges, it is your purpose that will keep you going. And then what are you interested in doing? What do you like to learn? What do you like to do? All those things are very important. Now, if you want to take those three things, your passion, your purpose, and obviously your interest, the intersection between all those three, if you call it Venn diagrams, if you can recall your math class, the intersection will be where you can find value, and then you can see how best you can monetize that kind of value. If you want to take it a step further, the skills that you possess, the experiences that you have experienced in your lifetime, the roles that you have played, your talents, all those things can fall under these things. So if you have you can draw 7 wheels if you like, where you have your talent, you have your skills, you have your past experience, you have your passion, your interest, your hobby. At the end of the day, all I want you to know is that there should be a section, if I draw it out, where all those circles intersect. And that is where you can actually provide value without being weary, without worrying about what you're doing, without being fed up. At the end of the day, you love what you're doing. There are people who love doing things even though it doesn't make them money, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how you can really create value. Now, when you find that, you need to move a step further. In a recipe, or when you're cooking, for my ladies who watch my channel, You always follow a recipe when you start to cook, but after a while, you get so conversant in doing that to the point that you don't even think about how much salt you will add and how much water you're adding. That is how you have to do it. So in the beginning, you have to start with a plan, a step-by-step guide as to how you're going to launch that thing. And then once you become conversant of that, you can move away from that. So make a plan. So first we talk about value, see what people will be willing to pay for that thing. And then once you've done that, try to have a step-by-step guide into going it. You know what? I want to use myself as an example. I have spent so much money just trying to really be the better version of myself. And you know, the sad part is that I always want to think about perfection over progress. And that is one thing I want you to be cognizant of today. I want you to know that when you want to do something, when you're embarking on anything that you're embarking on, you have to do it and then you perfect it later, because that is the stealer of time. Procrastination is not a good thing. So I always say progress over perfection. When you have perfected it, you can try to be a little more detailed into whatever you're doing. But for now, don't think about all the big picture. Okay, now I have identified my value. How am I going to sell it? Who am I going to sell to? So once you have identified the value that you can create, because the value should be something that people are willing to exchange money, which is the medium of exchange for that value. So the value that you find from the intersection should be something that should be able to solve a problem for somebody. It should be able to, help somebody who has that pain point, in the sense that that burning desire keeps the patient or the person at night. And so the person is trying to figure out, how best can I find solution to this? So if you're able to find solution to that problem, be it a physical problem or whatever problem it is, then people will be willing to pay value for that. If it doesn't solve a problem, you are wasting your time. And a very fast way I have realized that you can actually create value quick without getting bogged down with all the nitty-gritties that we usually do, myself included, because we want to make sure that at the end of the day, we are not scamming somebody. It's a good product or whatever it is. I want you to validate whatever you have. And you're going to use this simple tool to validate the process. Find 3 people, only 3 people. Just create it. I don't want you to go create a website, name it, and all that. Find 3 people who are willing to pay value in exchange for whatever, willing to pay money in exchange for whatever you're willing to sell to them. If you can find 3 people, because it's one thing people telling you that, okay, we are going to pay for it. And then when you have developed the product, at the end of the day, they tell you they don't want to pay anymore. So just find 3 people. You want to ship products to another country, or you want to go back, do whatever, find 3 people who are willing to pay for that. If you get 3 people, zoom into it and gradually launch into different phases. Because at the end of the day, that is what will propel you to go forward. Very important. I have learned this lesson the hard way. And I don't want you to go through that, because at the end of the day, if you try to make it so cumbersome, you're going to lose sight of your why. And then if you're not careful, you're going to end up with something else. So when you are able to find your passion, your purpose, your interest, albeit all the talents, skills, experience, roles, responsibilities, all tying in into that, you will be able to provide something, doing what you love, and people are willing, or people will be willing to exchange money for that thing that you have developed. I want you to deliver value when our customers, or when they really want it. At the end of the day, it's really up to you how best you do it. So I have teased together a simple questionnaire for you to be able to use that. So when I talk about the purpose, I talk about what impact do I want to make in the world? Who do I want to help and how? What change do I want to see? And when I talk about the passion, when do I feel the most fulfilled? What gives you the most satisfaction? What are the topics that you love to read or talk about endlessly? What do people come to you for advice for? What activities make you lose track of time? And then when I go to the interest, I talk about list out what you enjoy, even if it seems trivial or unrelated. Research industries, trends, hobbies that relate to those interests, and experiment with projects or gigs. And the experiment you're going to do, I have told you that just find 3 products or 3 people who be willing to exchange value or exchange money for that value that you are creating. At the end of the day, that is how you can easily turn your passion into profit, and your next paycheck will come in. If you have found value in this video, I want you to continue listening and subscribe, share for somebody, because sometimes when you hear it, it's so big, but when you break down into chunks, small chunks, that is how you can really proceed. I have made so many mistakes. I have had so many experiences doing this, and I don't want you to repeat the mistakes that I made. To the point that I wanted to start coaching as far back as how many years ago, and I never wanted to take the first step. Taking the first step was what propelled me to break out of my comfort zone and be able to really excel and do what I love doing, which is mentoring. And I want you to find the same value. I want you to be able to make money doing what you love. And it's always good if you want to do it as a side hustle, so be it. But if you want to make it as a business, then you have to have the business acumen, because it shouldn't be a hobby. Hobby is something that you spend money on it, as nothing comes back to you. But if it's a business, at the end of the day, it should be making you money. It might not be immediate, but you should have a long-term goal in check or in hindsight, so that you can really put in the nitty-gritties that you need to do. And always audit, audit, audit. Never monitoring and evaluation are the key to success. If you put in the work and at the end of the day, there is nothing, no analysis, no data for you to tease out how much you put in, how much is coming out, you might end up spending so much money and you think you're making money. But if you have indicators, data that you can easily tease out to find out, okay, I put in this much to start this, I'm making this much. My profit after everything is this much. And I just want to bring in here, because I talk to a whole lot of business people and I see they come up with the same mistake, because they're like, oh, my home care business made this much of income. What was your expenditure? How much did you take out of it? What about your interest and all those things? So at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you are doing something and you are really reckoning everything with a good data for you to really break even. So today I have captured a whole lot. I don't want to go too much into this. And I want to leave you with something that you can always be knowledge and cognizant of. I want you to be able to say that it is okay and you can actually make money doing what you love. If you found value in this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. I will see you in our next episode. I hope to connect more online, and then we go from there. Have a good evening. Thanks for watching.